Thanks to the lovely folks at Frontier, I was able to get early access to Planet Coaster 2, and guess what? I built an entire park within an hour. Yes, I'm sure you're already watching everyone else's recaps on the scenery, on the effects, on even like Silv's coaster building abilities, but I thought it would be fun to challenge myself to really build an entire park with everything I had on hand within an hour. I built a zoo within a day, so I feel like making a small theme park within an hour might actually be achievable, and guess what? In Planet Coaster 2, it absolutely was. This was so fun to do, oh my gosh. Building an entire pool complex, with slides, with rides, with roller coasters. This was such a fun challenge, and I thought it would be so good to do it with the mythological theme. But I learned so much stuff along the way, so let's get right into it. Here's over 35 things I learned from building an entire park in Planet Coaster 2. Let's talk about pre-order and DLC content right now. The pre-order is going to be actually available as soon as this video goes up. And the actual game actually goes live the 6th of November. That is just like a month or two away. It's so close, I can almost taste it. Not only that, but the pre-order contents that you can actually get are quite good. What's included in the pre-order are the Cube, which is this kind of really cool looking flat ride, the Outamax water coaster, as well as the FD Vision, which seems to be a very cool track ride. Beyond that, packs are going to be absolutely loaded going forward. The Vintage Funfair Ride Pack, which is specifically for rides, is going to have a carousel, charoplane, Helter Skelter, otherwise known as, you know, the fun slide to us Americans. Probably my favorite things in here are going to be the wooden coaster, the antique powered cars. Oh my gosh, being able to decorate those with like the new ride decoration tools is going to be insane. We also get the wooden Wild Mouse and the wooden side friction coaster, one of the oldest terms of roller coasters out there. So cool. Can we just talk about this trailer too? Like, it just really reinvigorated, I would say, all of my love for this game, and there is so much to even extrapolate, not only from the gameplay that we have today, but also from the trailer. This is so exciting. But that's really it for pre-order and DLC content. We don't really know too much else about that, but it's going to be insane. Go check it out on the Steam store right now, but let's talk about pools and paths. Pathing and pool stamps are absolutely the way to go, I've learned. You can curve your edges inwards and then smooth them out right after. It's going to be so easy to make nice organic looking pools. Absolutely love it. The pathing tool is even better than I expected as well. It seems that you'll actually be able to kind of like, you know, paint on whatever effect you want onto your paths. Seeing that we didn't even have the full path roster on our hands, or at least the full capabilities of paths, this is going to be so cool to see what it looks like in the complete release of the game. I know we talked about this before, but pools can actually have 3 different levels of depth. That includes a diving end, a wading end, and then a very shallow end that kind of just slopes in. It's very interesting to see how this all works together because it just automatically calculates it. You can have each end kind of connected to each other, and it automatically recognizes it. It's going to make for some very immersive pools. Pools can be decorated like so much. You can see what I did in my kind of little mythological park, but one of the most important things to keep in mind is that there's not really collision with guests, unfortunately. So if you do build something, just know that your guests probably might walk through it, but you can suspend belief for a little bit to have something look really cool in your pool. Pools can also be customized. This one is very cool. You can change out the bottoms of the pool. I wasn't able to do it in my kind of thing, but I saw it like briefly. The UI and tool system in this game are very jank for me to get accustomed to. They're great, but they're jank for me. But you can actually see this in one of the actual pre-release screenshots that I'm hopefully going to have on the screen right now. Very cool stuff right there. Can't wait to play with. But yeah, that's really it for pools and paths in general. I guess I could talk about slides very quickly. Slides are insane. Like, slides are going to be my favorite thing to build in this damn game. It's so easy to make a good looking slide, and it's just so fun and rewarding once you actually have guests start to use them. It is so good. Now, moving on to graphics and visuals, the lighting in this game, guys. The lighting, it is so freaking spectacular. It is gorgeous. I really can't wait to build my parks specifically tailored towards nighttime, but even not that, like, just having a good lighting system in the game are so good. However, this is another little fun fact. There's no lighting for dark ride or interiors, which is very, very sad to hear. It's very much like Planet Zoo. It's not as bad as Planet Coaster, but it's as good as Planet Zoo, but unfortunately not better. From initial glance, at least. There might be specific things in the game that are more tailored towards this, but as far as I'm aware, I couldn't get a good-looking dark ride interior. I guess this is also for graphics. I organized this all, but I'm not really too smart. Mascots look good. Mascots can have multiple genders. I think that's really awesome. We saw it with the Viking. I have that in the video somewhere. And we also saw it for the kind of Grecian storyteller. I love that, like, staff member. They're so funny. But yeah, that's really cool, and it's going to bring a whole bunch more dynamics to your park. And speaking more on graphics and visuals, almost every single piece I used was flexi-color. It's more so scenery in our next one, but whatever. It's so cool that even that Zeus statue that I have, like, you know, right in the front of my park over here, that is flexi-color as well. That's going to be so useful, especially for making, like, I don't know, making your park look a lot more unique than the average Joe Schmoes. It's so awesome. And the last thing on graphics and visuals, the first person mode is so immersive, both for guest view and ride POVs. The fact that we are going to be able to, like, really get immersed in our own rides. Like, I was on I think I had a boomerang coaster in the front of my park. All of the sound effects, all of the visuals, all of the visual cues, like with whatever you call it, when it comes down and then brings it back up to the top, that was so good. Every single sound cue in this game is so beautifully crafted, and it's just so immersive. First person mode as well, you can just plop right into it. You just click the camera button right down on the bottom right, and then you can pop right in there. So helpful. So good. Alright, my bread and butter. Let's talk about some scenery and customization. The mythological set is literally insane. You can tell why exactly I made an entire park just with this stuff alone. It is gorgeous. I didn't see much of the Viking theme, however, but it's so good from the blueprints that I saw. Building is a lot more like Planet Coaster than Planet Zoo, and I'm not really sure how to feel about that, especially in Planet Zoo when you're kind of just typing in stuff in the search bar. You can get both blueprint items as well as your normal scenery items. However, they are distinctly separated in Planet Coaster 2, which is a little bit weird to me, but I always hated the way that Planet Coaster 1's blueprint and scenery system was set up, so at least this is kind of a step in the right direction. I'm not too offended. The scenery brush, oh, so good. You can see me just slather this stuff on my park like butter. I wish it could be just a little bit more customized, and I think there is a way to actually make it a lot more customized, but I wasn't able to have enough time to mess with that stuff. That seems like have a little sip of wine at one night and then just start creating scenery brushes. I don't know. Leaf is weird like that. But yeah, it's so good regardless. It's so easy just to paint down scenery items. However, there's no random rotation from what I saw, and this is probably like one of the biggest drawbacks. Random rotation is probably one of the best things to ever come to Planet Zoo, and I'm a little offended that I did not see it in Planet Coaster 2. I could be completely wrong, but I just didn't see it in there, and it was a little bit sad. I rely on that a lot to make realistic looking parks, realistic looking foliage. I don't know, it's just very important to me. However, there are lots of carryover things from Planet Zoo, especially with items. I saw that the Greek mythological theme has these lovely canvas pieces, but they're literally just copy pasted from the Indonesian pack, which I'm not offended at all about. I love those pieces, and I think they fit much better in Planet Coaster than anything else. I just find it very funny. So if you want to start building in Planet Coaster 2, start playing with the Indonesian theme in Planet Zoo. I think that's kind of funny. Scaling. Oh my gosh. Scaling is going to make it so much easier for new builders. and it will add a whole new challenge to advanced builders. For new builders, it's going to be super easy to help populate your park with nice big looking centerpieces and really help it feel so much more complete. However, for our returning builders and for all of our art-shaped senseis, you know who you are, this is going to be game-changing. You can go so tiny with this stuff. You can have so much fun making like every single tiny little detail in your park, and it's going to be so freaking helpful. I don't know. It was just such a pleasure to finally build with in Planet Coaster 2, and I can't wait to see what everyone else does with the scaling tool going forward. Null signs are in the game. Oh my gosh. Finally, it only took them a couple of updates, but null signs are officially in the game. You know how you had those editable text things? By the way, there's so many new text like options, which I think is so cool. We don't have like the old ones too. We have like new, fresh, spunky looking ones. But yeah, null signs are finally in the game. So you know how in Planet Zoo, I would say, you would have to sink your wooden signs ever so slightly into the wall so that the text would appear, but the wood wouldn't. Yeah, we don't even need to worry about that anymore. We officially have null signs, and that's just so good to have. The blueprint system was locked out for me. I tried to be a little bit sneaky and check out what might have been already on the Frontier Workshop. However, it's going to be so good once it's actually functional, because keep in mind, it will be cross-console. People using a PlayStation 5 Pro for $700, oh my god, will be able to use blueprints from PC builders who actually have mouse and keyboard and can make a lot more advanced looking builds, and it's just going to be such a more lovely community. I always feel so alienated from the console players in Planet Zoo because, like, I can't share my blueprints with them. So having this is just going to be so good. I can't wait. Now talking on some of the more challenge and new elements kind of added in Planet Coaster 2, power management is so difficult. So I'm sure you guys have already seen some other videos in terms of, hey, we played the career mode first and then we played sandbox. Yeah, career mode is going to be a little bit challenging. Power management is very difficult. Since we do have that new City Skylines kind of power system, it's going to be a little bit more like that. It's going to be a little bit clunky. Now keep in mind, I might only think it was clunky because I was playing on a streamed version of the game. It might actually be not as laggy in person. It was just a little bit of like pulling teeth right there. I don't know. So the scenarios are going to be a little bit tough. I always had an issue with them in Planet Coaster, and in Planet Coaster 2, it seems like it's going to be the exact same thing. Even though I did kind of Zerg rush the entire scenario that we were given so I could play with sandbox mode. But I saw so many messages from people struggling with the career mode in their game, and I was like, oh no, this is going to be terrifying. So yeah, just keep that in mind. If you do want a challenge, definitely do check out the career mode once it's out, because I feel like it's going to be super fun if you're more oriented like a player like that. Most of the time I am, but hey, I'm mostly a sandbox player through and through. The guests feel so much more alive. Oh my gosh. So just going through your park, walking through it, you can hear the guests like just interacting with everything, talking with each other. It just feels so much more lifelike. I always felt like in Planet Coaster 1 and Planet Zoo, it's the group. It's never just the guest, it's the group. But this time the guest AI honestly feels a lot more like individualized, and I find that very cool. Yeah, the storyteller entertainment from the mythological set is completely infuriating, and I love them. I had this specifically mentioned because they are the most infuriating thing to hear in your park, but I love that because anyone who loads into any of my parks now will have to listen to them. I'll even hide some of them underground so you won't be able to get rid of them. Weather and environment. Oh, let's talk about this. Weather is better than Planet Zoo. Like, we didn't even see the snow, but the rain alone was so beautiful. I don't know, the weather in Planet Zoo just feels so 2D compared to Planet Coaster 2 now. I don't know, it's just so freaking awesome. I don't know. We're gonna get ocean maps too. If you look at the trailer, you can see that one of the maps in here does have kind of like an ocean kind of vibe to it. Very cool stuff. Very cool stuff. That's something we've been asking for quite a long time. All right, Frontier made assets. The Frontier made blueprints are like the best we've ever seen. Like, you can tell I made this entire park with Frontier blueprints because, again, I didn't want to spend all my time piece by piece making a park by itself, but these blueprints look so incredible. I don't know who it is that makes the blueprints on their end, but, like, give them a good old pat on the back because these are gorgeous. Oh my gosh. Now, in terms of miscellaneous stuff, the controls will take a little bit of time to get used to, but once you do, it is very much worth it. It was a little bit of riding the struggle bus for me at first, because it was just such a, I don't know, it was a little bit of a hassle to get into, but I don't know. Once you were able to do it, it was so freaking good. Everything you can do in this game takes so much longer than a single hour. As you guys know, I didn't have that much time to play with the game. I only had like an hour, 45 minutes or so. But once I actually like got the hang of it, it was so good. But there's so much more that I was not able to see. I didn't see the lazy rivers. I tried to make one. I failed completely. You make them a completely different way, apparently. Oh no, I don't know. But I don't know. It's just so freaking exciting to see everything come together like this. And I can assure you that once this game actually does come out, you're going to be spending night and day with this game, just figuring out everything new that comes with it. It's going to be so exciting. Even though it is a completely new game, it is the same old Planet Coaster, and I think that is such a good thing. Frontier has not lost track of what made them the incredible company that they are, and just like honing in on this IP, really making it feel so much more robust, catering to all the thuzies out there, catering to all the theme park fans, and making sure that the entry level for this game is still low so that anyone can pick it up and play with it is so good to have. And I think that is exactly what's going to make Planet Coaster 2 just such a successful game to begin with. And that was it. Oh my god, this is crazy. I got the footage this morning, and by the time that this comes out, I'm probably going to be like, because working on this all morning is like atrocious. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really do appreciate it. Be sure to check out some of the other content creators like Stan, Geekism, all of them too. Wix, I was building alongside Wix. He was building some very cool Nordic stuff. But yeah, be sure to check out all the other fantastic content creators this morning because everyone's going to have completely different perspectives and you can get so much information out of everyone. I think we all kind of focus on different things, which is so beneficial. But hey, if you stop by my channel, thank you so much for stopping by to begin with. I really do appreciate your presence here, and if you guys do want to join the Leaf Pile, make sure to hit that fancy little subscribe button right down below. Take care, enjoy all the Planet Coaster update news stuff going forward, and I will see you all in the next video. Take care, and bye-bye.